And we are back with more Everlasting Summer. So, after the last part I put up, I figured I'd put it off for at least a day and come back and try to see if I could get another part in because Ulyana's route should be coming to an end. As some of you, like myself, yeah, it's not my favorite route either, but I have to finish it. But I'm sure some people might like the route. That's kind of why I did it. So, you know, but either way, it shouldn't be too much longer for in terms of this route, because then we'll get back to all the good stuff again. You know, said Slavia, the route kind of took a little bit of a detour. It happens when you're not doing strong characters at that point. Um, you know, because even though I kind of liked Alyssa's route a little bit, I still kind of put her route along with uh, Ilyana's, but not quite there. But it's going towards that way. But Miku and Lena will get back to the good routes again. So let's see where this goes. I met Slavia at the square. Do you know where Alyssa is? Yes, I do. What's the matter? Just tell me. My words sounded obviously rough, but it seems that she didn't pay it any attention. She's at the music club. Why would she? Oh wait, I keep forgetting that she plays guitar. Okay. So when I think music club, I usually think Miku. It's either the other way around. Ah, okay. Well, I did not expect these two to be with each other. This is kind of a first. Slavia was right, and I met Alyssa near the music club. But that's not all who is in this scene, is it? Because when you say music, someone else is going to be in this scene. I don't, I don't know. My attention is over here. I don't know. However, she was accompanied by Miku, and there he goes, accompanied. This tells me that he wants nothing to do with her whatsoever. Like, why is she here? Poor Semyon, they can't never catch a break. Wow, Semyon, since she's gonna be next, you're not going to be ignoring her. After all this time, you've been putting her off. There's no longer gonna be any more blowing off. Once I start her out, you're not gonna be blowing her off. Mind explaining yourself? I didn't waste time on pleasantries. Now, what makes you think so? Alyssa gave me a cute smile. Oh, Simeon, I noticed that you're here too. Maybe then three of us can play something. I have a new song, and it is so funny. I'm sure you'll like it. I promise. Or we could choose something old. Miku interrupted the conversation. What kind of song did you have in mind? Like, I'd be kind of curious where that would go. You could sing to me anytime. We all know you have a good voice. Could you? What? She looked at me with the smile of an uncomprehending child. For that moment, I understood what exactly she had in her mind. Little rabbits, teddy bears, pussycats, but no sign of intelligence. This word right here, I don't know. You think it up there, I don't know. Sign of intelligence. Why do you sell this girl shorts? I mean, I want to know. Why do you do that? Like, you're not even on the girls' route. You barely know anything about her other than, I'm guessing he just finds her annoying. That's my guess. I need to talk to Alyssa. I said in a tone that brooked no disagreement. Okay, maybe later. Aw, a face. It's okay. We'll take care of you next time. Man, it looked like she was upset. I would imagine you keep blowing her off. That was the first time she actually made a different expression. Like she usually doesn't do that. But I'm guessing though she probably is already aware that he just does this, but she just doesn't say nothing. No, I didn't care. You will be carried sooner or later. So, I don't understand what you mean. Alyssa said, offended. And anyway, I have to go. She turned around and got ready to leave. Some reason I thought maybe this choice might come up for Ulyana. I did not expect it to be, where are we at here? Okay, so let me overwrite this save. But we're going to try to stop her verbally. Okay, because that's the... And that also includes for the bad ending, too. I'm not really sure what grab her arm roughly does. I'm going to see what this does, and then I'll come back to the verbally one. Because since I won't be seeing this either way, if like, what about it? Even the bad, even going towards her bad ending has the same choice. So I'm curious. I rudely grabbed Alyssa's wrist. What are you doing? The girl was really frightened. Who told the camp leader that Ulyana came to me at night? I don't know. She pleaded piteously. We discussed it this morning, didn't we? Okay, so obviously it's more of a startle reaction, so let me go back now. I always check to see sometimes because sometimes you get slightly different dialogue and, you know, so I was curious where that was going to go, but it was more of a reactionary thing. Okay, try to stop her verbally. Hey, not so fast. She stopped and turned to me. I'm not here to kill you. Why would you even think this line? I don't know. My words sounded like a joke, but Alyssa flinched. Who told the camp leader that Ulyana came to me at night? I don't know. She pleaded piteously. We discussed it this morning, didn't we? She said nothing but continued to look at me with fear in her eyes. And most importantly, what's the purpose of telling 1,000 lies? I really don't know what you're talking about. And why are you crying? You know something. Either that or she's just putting on this. I don't know about this face here. Her eyes filled with tears. There are times where it's kind of hard to take the character serious on occasion. When you're not doing the route anymore, it's like, it's a different, you know. Because what reason would she have to do this face? Like, I don't know. Suddenly, I felt as I'd been struck by lightning. Okay. What if she isn't guilty? And why did I immediately think of her? Anyone else could easily have seen us at night. You never know. Even Ulyana herself could tell anyone. Good point. Are you sure? I asked harshly. Yes. I thought for a second, and this time just enough for Alyssa to escape. Now the only true solution is to talk to Olga Dmitrievna again. She'd be more or less the type that would catch someone in the act rather than, like, her know something. Like, she would, but that's only if somebody tells her, right? I found her on the canteen porch. By that time, the sun had already disappeared behind the horizon. You came back after, she began. Olga, could you tell me honestly, who told you about it? I've just spoken to the Vetchka, it's not her. Ulyana wouldn't do it herself, so who? That's the first time I've actually heard him refer to Alyssa by this name, because he rarely ever does that. But if you ever notice, he says her, the way he pronounces her name, even though I just said it here, he doesn't exactly pronounce it correctly. So usually, Alyssa gets a different reaction. So it's like him saying it to her, what Alyssa not being in this scene would mean that he's safe because she's not around to hear this. I don't know. In fact, I myself didn't realize why I needed to know this. Initially, I was just mad at Alyssa, but now, well, she hesitated. Some strange girl. But this still doesn't... Strange girl. You know, there's a lot of those in this camp, honestly. But when you say strange girl, I'm thinking it's somebody we haven't seen yet. A strange girl? Well, yes. Not from my camp, it seemed. Did you happen to run into Eula by chance? Did she appear human? I don't know. Why did she tell you about this? How should I know? Olga, but this is... I took a deep breath and turned away. Just why does she have to obviously lie? Although maybe she is trying to protect somebody. Let's say, damn, I cannot even imagine. Alright, I said quietly and walked briskly away from the canteen. I had absolutely no desire to continue listening to Olga Dmitrievna's stupid lies. Our so-called camp leader. For once, I don't think she really knows. She probably, I heard something, but she mentioned about a strange girl. So I'm guessing that he's just gonna randomly think whoever that is. He ain't gonna know. I walked aimlessly, completely lost in thought. Are you on guard duty? I heard a cheerful voice from behind. More like an energetic voice, right? It was Ulyana. Nothing special, just seems like there was no chance of finding out who Olga Dmitrievna's informer was, and yesterday's incident was hushed up somehow, so I decided not to think about it. What do you have planned for the evening? Nothing, I guess. After all my frantic attempts to uncover the truth, I felt some inexplicable guilt before Alyssa and Ulyana. What exactly the guilt before Ulyana was about was completely unclear, though. Then I have a suggestion. What is it? I brought a video cassette from home. Her eyes flashed conspiratorially. And I couldn't even remember when the last time I had watched or heard something recorded on cassette was. Yeah, good point. With a cool movie on it. Where would we get a VCR here? I don't know. Anything's possible out there. Go to a pawn shop, But then again, you're in a camp, so maybe that wouldn't be possible, right? People do sell like old stuff that they get rid of, but sometimes they keep them there for long times. You'd be surprised where you can find things. This word came to me from the past, and I decided to test whether my guesses about which time period I had been placed in were right. At the Cybernetics Club, of course. There's nothing there, I said confidently. What about in the back room? She was right. It could be there. I still want to know why Electronic handed him a key. I don't know. I want to know where that came from. Because, the last part, there was a part where he got handed a key, and, I questioned why this key came into play. I don't know. But anyway, it's too late and everything is closed. That strange feeling of guilt I felt in front of Ulyana wasn't giving me a chance to refuse immediately. We can get in there through the window. What do you got on your mind this time? I don't even want to know. Last time it was a surprise kiss. Now we have this idea of some type of window we were sneaking into. I don't know. She grinned mischievously. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. At her age, when you think of this character's age, that's where things can get a little bit awkward because you never know where they're going to lead to. Well, maybe you're right. Wish we could get a key. And why are you blushing? I don't know, man. Mused Ulyana. But I had one. I mean, this is probably the reason why I mentioned in the last part why she probably snuck a kiss on him without him looking. Probably because she wouldn't have done it. I don't know. In my pocket. And I just remembered about it. Now that you mention it, yes, I've got a key. Next time, I'd better think before I speak. And I'm guessing this key is probably the one Electronic gave him. I'm gonna guess. It's gotta be. That's good, then I'll quickly run to get the tape. You wait here and I'll be right back. She disappeared before I could even open my mouth. It's strange that she wasn't surprised that the key to the Cybernetics Club mysteriously happened to be in my pocket at the right place and time. But why is it in your pocket? And why was it given to you in the first place? That still probably ain't even gonna come up, is it? But in any case, I have to decide what to do next. The most right and logical thing would be to not go anywhere with her. But my guilt got to me. Though it seems to me that there could be nothing criminal in watching a movie with her. Kind of movie you thinking? I mean, well, I can think of a few types of things you could be watching with her. They probably wouldn't be appropriate, would they? Uh, I mean, yeah, normally, no. Criminal idea is watching a movie, but what kind of movie are you thinking of watching? I don't know. KGB will be on your ass. No, I'm just I don't know. Just something that came to mind there. But on the other hand, with Ulyana, even the most harmless things can turn into a three-ring circus. Now, you have to understand too, though, guys, that Semyon's only 17, so you kind of have to try to put yourself in his shoes. And when you think of her age to his, it's not really that far of a gap from the two. And if you look at it, in most countries, that would be considered legally dating age in terms of like those two to date. It just depends on who you know, though. I probably I remember when I was 17 though. I don't recall ever dating a 14-year-old at that. By the time I got to that age, I don't know, because I was in high school, so I was mostly just trying to get to know people around me at the time. So most people were within my age range of 16, 17, somewhere around in that range, right? So the likelihood of you, because the idea for him to be able to pursue a girl that is 14, he would have to, maybe know a friend or somebody that goes to a middle school or something like that. And for me, like going back to date somebody who was in middle school would make it feel like I'm going backwards as opposed to going forward, kind of thing. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I was already starting to forget about what had happened this evening, about my frantic attempt to get the truth from Melissa and Olga Dmitriyeva. In just a couple of minutes, she returned. Huh? Having second thoughts, I looked at Ulyana and felt a bit uncomfortable. Are we going? Listen, your ideas are, let's say, not entirely safe. And you even thinking this makes this whole scene here a little bit awkward. Are you even thinking of what I'm thinking you're thinking there, Semyon? I don't know. And in the end, everything will end badly again. Because even though, you're playing somebody who's, reverted back to their 17 years of age, you can't help but think like, I don't know, think your adult sense is going to come into play, right? It's like, what am I doing in this scene? Why am I here? Why am I doing this route? This character. uh, maybe that's why the people who made this game, maybe that's why they probably took out some of the age content. But even with it, apparently she doesn't have one, which that's probably a good thing because I don't know. That would, but just reading dialogue before the scene even starts, that would be pretty awkward. But I've already read some dialogue from him that, from the one part after the kiss, where it made it seem like they slept the night together. And I don't know. But then he's already saying something about, well, who told you this or that? So it seems like he's kind of on the defensive here. I'm not really sure what the case is. Are you scared? No, I'm not. I am because I don't know where this scene is going. Not that kind of scared, though. I just don't know where it's going. I'm just a grown man, and I'm not interested in such games. Well, not right now. You aren't. You. Since you're in this world, you're not a grown man. You are in the other world, but not this one. Oh man, grown man. She laughed. Indeed, I forgot that I look 17 at most. What makes you think so? It's really hard to accept, but I had nothing to say to that. Thinking about it, the whole time I spent here, I did not display any particular forethought, nor life experience, nor cold, balanced assessment of the situation. Though the other question is, did I ever show those in that light? And in fact, even if I think, I would recall some examples, of course, but okay, let's go. I was so offended by Ulyana's words that I asked, and what is a grown man in your opinion? One who is responsible for his actions. One who does not do anything without thinking about the consequences. A person who is capable of taking good care not only of himself but also of others. Hmm. Uh, what if he does make mistakes though? Was that mean that he's not a good, grown man? I don't know, because people make mistakes a lot, don't they? So if he's only doing these things, would that make him? Does that mean he's compatible to some people out there? I don't know. That would be kind of hard to live up for some people. I don't know. A person who is capable of taking good care of not only himself but also of others. I think we all kind of like. I don't know how that would go. I do that on a regular basis when it comes to my dad. There's somebody I have to take care of, but other than that, though, I wouldn't really call that not only of himself because I do that on a constant basis, so I don't really think about it, like that. Responsible for his actions. I mean, this line here could be summed up this whole route, though. One who is responsible for his actions. But does anybody really do that, though? Because this word responsible, I don't think can really apply to any one single person because we all claim that we're responsible for things, right? But we all get into things sometimes we don't really mean to get into, but just happens. One who does not do anything without thinking about the consequences. Hmm. Well, I can think of a lot of people in real life that does this. There's plenty of people out there that are like that. Uh, but you actually don't really do that yourself. You don't really think a lot either. You just go with the flow and then, I don't know, worry about whatever else is later. So you really don't have much room to speak on that one. I know that doesn't describe you, that's for sure. I try to laugh it off. I'm not pretending to be like that anyway. You wouldn't have to. It's like it the idea of you being responsible, I probably wouldn't trust you with anything. Take care of something. I don't know. She's the type that rat on you anyway. Like a few times she's done that. Yeah, she was absolutely right. I did not possess any of those qualities. But I always thought that not being 17 is all that's required. It seems that, in general, there is no difference between me and other people, and if I wish I could be exactly like they are. Well, see, here's the thing. Being 17 doesn't mean you can't be mature. There's a difference between a mature 17-year-old and an immature 17-year-old. There's two differences of that. Age really, to me, I don't think really has anything to do with defining a person. But now there is something called experience. That's the difference. Obviously, because you're in school, there's only so far you can go in life without, in terms of being on your own. But once you get out of school, it's a completely different story. But it's really not that much of a difference because I see immature mid-20s some year olds sometimes, um, and then there's other ones that are more mature about themselves. So it just depends on the individual. There's no really there's no perfect person no matter how you look at it though. Is that all wrong? In fact, no, because in this camp I try to behave in a most logical, sensible, and proper way, like an adult. But if even Ulyana says differently, then how can I get out of here? We went in. It took some time for Ulyana to find the light switch. Presto! Well done, bravo. I exaggerated, clapped my hands. Hey, stop making fun of me. She pouted. Okay, what's next? Here. Ulyana went up to the door to the second room, hesitated for a moment and pushed it open. What are we gonna find in here? Okay, so we haven't really been up here before. There wasn't much space inside. Seems more like this room was used for storage. Wow. Yeah, maybe, but it is a club room that they use for, I don't know, building robots and other things that we've seen in it. So, I don't know. I can imagine lots of things being in this room. I see a computer here, so obviously somebody's using this group for something. Boxes piled on top of each other have formed some sort of Alps in miniature. Various. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, you know what? Looking at this, that looks like a TV, and maybe that's the VCR. And I see a VHS tape, so never mind. That maybe. Probably because I was looking at it the wrong way. I thought maybe it was like one of those old fashioned like computers, from like back in the like mid to late 90s when they looked like this. Yeah. Maybe even early 90s too. Like, I don't know. I'm born in 89, so it's like, uh, when I started seeing computers, like when I was very young, a lot of them kind of had like a, a box shaped like this with the screen, and then you would get like this thing where you could put like a floppy disk in, right? I don't know. That's kind of what I remember anyway. The bookshelves on the far wall made it clear that this was not a simple storage for unused junk. To my right, there was a TV set with a video player sitting next to it. Interestingly, they were not Soviet. I bet they were Japanese. Well, since I can't see a name, I could only imagine what this would be. At least going by their appearance. Can you actually judge a TV by its appearance and say what it is? Not really. I couldn't do that. Because most TVs have a similar look to them, no matter where they're made from. Not very surprising, and those days are more accurately for me. These days, imports already existed. Although, it's kind of funny. I actually know what Samsung TVs kind of look like compared to, like, others. Because with my family for so long, other than when I was little, they used to get, like, Sony televisions. And then, when they weren't making, like, the big type televisions anymore, like, the big bulky types, when they started switching to like flat screens, my family started buying like Samsung at that point. And you get used to kind of seeing how their shape is, and like the bezels usually gives it away that it's a Samsung flat screen. Like some of the other ones that I've seen, like they all look kind of similar to them, but you could definitely tell a Samsung flat screen from most of the other ones out there that I've seen anyway. It's kind of weird. What did I tell you? And I'm not really a fan of their. I think their TVs honestly are kind of overrated. Honestly, there's some other ones that I've actually found that were not name brands that I've had TVs that lasted longer than my parents sometimes. Like I don't know. My television, I had a Vizio, and I can't remember who makes that. Man, I had that flat screen from, I think when I got it in '05, maybe it was '05, '06. I had that TV for like the longest time, and it only stopped working like, I don't know, after so long. My mom and them, they went through like 3 or 4 TVs by the time mine finally stopped working. And that was like I said, that was a name brand that they would get. I don't know. Ulyana smiled triumphantly. Yeah, yeah. Have you seen anything like that before? I have. Perhaps I've got a VCR too. Probably it's lying somewhere on the mezzanine in my house. I actually probably, if I went through my closet, I probably would find a VCR in my thing. But when you have stuff that's piled in there and it's a separate closet, you don't really feel like going in there. But I'm pretty positive that I could probably find one. I don't know if I still have any VHS tapes though. Maybe some old Disney stuff we might have. But my parents traded a lot of their old VHS tapes for like a lot of DVDs. I wish they didn't do that though, because I'd like to be. I thought, before I had a YouTube channel, if I would have known my parents would have get rid of that stuff, maybe I would have showed some of you guys how many VHS tapes that we had, because we had like shitloads that I could recall. Seems like you're not surprised at all. And honestly, when you really think about it, when they went to DVD anyway, and then obviously now with Blu-ray, the quality on a Blu-ray, yeah, they look great. But honestly, going from VHS to DVD though at the time, there really wasn't that much of a gap between the two, from what I remember, because Depending on what television you had or what kind of VCR you had, there were some that um, looked pretty damn good in terms of like picture for what you can get in a VHS tape. There's some that have pretty good decent quality to them. It depends on how you know. Uh, Now they can't quite match a DVD because there's more information you could put on a DVD compared to a VHS tape. But still, the way that you get the sound though, sometimes I wish the sound was better on a DVD. The VHS tapes, for some reason, have better sound, from what I remember anyway. I don't. It's been a long time since I watched any movie in VHS, but I recall it though. Why should I be surprised? A Japanese TV set, a video player. You look like you'd often seen such things. Hmm, not too often lately. I agreed lazily. You are so gloomy. Nevertheless, okay, take it. She handed me a cassette. Okay, so I just had to see the time. Turned it over in my hands, but did not find any sticker or labels on it. So what's on it? I don't know exactly. Mused Ulyana. But I'm sure it's something very interesting. Oh boy. Soon the logo of a well-known American film company appeared on the screen. Interesting scene we got here. And why is she sitting in a chair like this? And what is he sitting on exactly? I don't know. It's just once again uh it's like this character doesn't really think of her surroundings, which whatever she's in. I don't know. She did this before, like when they were doing searching for shirt. She popped up a chair at one point, and she was straddled like this, and Simeon's direction was looking at her, and I kind of wondered where he was looking at the time. I don't know. Here, watch. Ulyana even started fidgeting impatiently. I'm watching. A few minutes later, I realized that the tape contained a famous film from the 80s. It was about a robot from the future sent to kill someone in the past, so in the years in between, a hero wouldn't be born. I'm getting Terminator out of this line. A robot from the future. I like how they went about this because there's only one way you could look at this and what it's trying to tell you here without them actually saying what it is. Because the idea, something from the future that was set to kill someone in the past, yeah, that has to be Terminator because RoboCop. There was another movie that was from the 80s that had to do with a robot, and it was called RoboCop, but it was completely different. That wasn't about someone from the future killing a hero, right? Okay, because the first Terminator had to do with a woman, couldn't be born. So, and then the second one obviously had to do with John Connor. So, I don't know, but that's the movie that came to mind when as soon as this came across my page. Interesting coincidence. Not really. I like how they threw it in there, though. That's pretty cool. You could say I was sent from the future, too. Are you Terminator? Is that what you're trying to think of? So what? My mission is to kill someone from among the local residents. Oh my goodness. Kill her softly. Is that what it is? I could not help laughing. What's so funny? Ayada looked at me reproachfully. Oh no, nothing. Seems as if you don't like the movie. The movie's alright. So is that what they watching is Terminator? I have no idea. So I'm guessing it was Terminator that they were watching. Well, good movie. Uh, you're not exactly somebody I would want to see this movie with, but I guess it's a start for anything. I've seen it several times. So have I, actually. But it's been forever since I last seen it, so how could that be? Her eyes widened in surprise. Well, my friend gave me a cassette. Hmm? Ulyana stared intently at me. Anyway, keep watching. I pointed at the screen. When the film was about halfway through, I heard someone trying to open the front door. Yeah, let me guess, it's probably going to be them. It is said that when a person has one of their senses weakened, the others are amplified. I was quite blind, but could hear impatiently, perfectly. Lights off, I whispered. What? Turn off the lights. Ulyana realized that this wasn't the time to argue with me and rushed to the switch. What are they doing? Meanwhile, I pressed the pause button. You guys are making it. You're making it seem like you're watching something else. Like you're supposed to be a movie of Terminator, and here they're kind of freaking out. He's going to a light switch. Who else do you think it was gonna be? But then again, it was kind of her idea to kind of sneak in here. I don't know. But Electronic was the one who gave him a key, though. So I don't know. Obviously, that key came into play here, but it still doesn't really explain why he even handed him a key. I don't know. Maybe he kind of knew that they would come to this club. I have no idea. Or maybe this was his idea. It's like, here, if you want to get closer to Ayana, watch a movie with her, kind of thing. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's not what he had it behind. Who knows with him? I wonder who decided to sneak into the Cybernetics Club at night. They're not here. Oh boy. This voice. I did not expect you. But then again, since she's always seems to look for him, it's not that much of a surprise. It was a voice of Olga Dmitrievna, of course. Oh boy. Soon the front door slammed shut, and I sighed with relief. Good Lord. See that? Again, that's because of you. What? Ayana stared at me in surprise. Why else would she come here at night? She's definitely searching for us. Alyssa likely doesn't care about your absence, but I'm registered at the camp leader's cabin. She thought for a while. Well, so what? So what? Why are you constantly looking for a trouble? It's almost as if you like it. It's more fun this way. Of course she does. Is it fun when you're constantly scolded and punished? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. She laughed merrily. Probably because this character doesn't take anything serious ever. Eventually, there are also rules. Well, up until now, you have evaded serious consequences, but who knows what could happen next? It could all end badly. You grumble like a granny, she said, offended. And who said recently that I could not be called an adult? Forget it. Let's finish the movie. Oh boy. And I'm actually gonna go back with this. I decided not to argue with her. In the end, we are already on Olga Dmitrievna's list, and an hour earlier, does it really matter? Oh boy. At each scary scene, Ulyana jumped, screamed, and grabbed me by the hand. I was not so keen on the film, but still pretended that I was also interested. Apart from the evil robot, there was a good man sent from the future to prevent his evil deeds. Yeah, that's definitely a Terminator. Maybe I'm not here with the goal. Because now the first Terminator, it was a human who was sent back in time. That's kind of funny how they did that. And then the second one, like, the Terminator turns out to be a good guy. It's kind of weird how that worked. To prevent some, for example, or to stop someone from some wrongdoing. The analogy is fairly interesting, but is not based on any real facts. I don't have a shotgun in my hands, but I'm not wearing a leather jacket, and I haven't got motorcycle to ride. I don't even have sunglasses. Good lord. Look! The next chase with shooting and the destruction of various types of wheeled and propelled vehicles was unfolding on the screen. Yeah. I pretty much know about the damn movie. You think the good guy will win? They always win, but that doesn't always mean they stay alive in the process of winning. Obviously. Because the guy that was sent back to time does die in the movie. Yeah, if I recall. Sarah actually, I think it's Sarah, actually is the one who actually finishes the Terminator, which is kind of funny on that. If we consider that Ulyana often succeeded in her silly ventures, the meaning of the word good gets seriously twisted. Wait, but you've already watched it. Yeah, I just wanted to know your opinion. Soon the film came to an end. During the final scenes, Ulyana ran around the room trying to get a better view of everything happening on the screen without missing anything. Ah, she gasped with relief when the ending credits started. Liked it? You need to ask, of course. That's good. And I could see you didn't reply, really. She squinted shyly. Well, it's a film for kids after all. Not really. You're talking about the Terminator. Not really. The first one is kind of scary when it first starts out. Like, especially later on in the movie when he's fully showed. When he, I think there was a part where the Terminator is getting burned and he loses all his skin and then he comes back as the machine. Yeah, for some kids that could be pretty creepy though. I don't know. Depends on how you look at it, I guess. I didn't actually really get too scared watching that movie, but I know other kids that couldn't watch what I was able to watch. I don't know. Yeah, so what? Nothing. She yawned and sat on the floor with her back against the pile of boxes. It's probably time to go to sleep. I'm tired and I won't go anywhere. As you wish. I'd better go then. Hey, wait. Oh boy. Ulyana immediately jumped up and grabbed me by the hand. You are definitely an aggressive type. Will you leave me here all alone? Oh no, where is this going? I really should call this a part because I have no idea what's going to happen here. Well, if you want, should I carry you to your cabin? Oh my goodness, this dialogue, I don't know. I said uncertainly. In the end, I was already experienced at that. Experienced at what? Cradle robbing? I want to sleep here. Oh no. Why did I think she was going to come to that? She rummaged in the box next to her and pulled out some sort of blankets and pillows. Oh my goodness. Again, the same story. I sighed. Just think, Ogun and Michinaba is already looking for us, and if we spend all night here... Well, firstly, she is looking for you. That has nothing to do with me. Laughed Ulyana. But how do you know she's only looking for him and not you too? Well, but then again, yeah, it's probably the case. Even if that's so, then you'll be caught too. What makes you say that? And even if I do get caught, that's okay. I'm used to it. Why are you so stubborn? It's only a couple of 100 meters to your cabin. As well as that, you couldn't say that Ulyana was completely exhausted. I'm so tired. She wrapped herself in a blanket, turned away from me, and began to diligently fake loud snores. Okay then, see you tomorrow. I tried to leave, but Ulyana grabbed my hand again. My goodness. I need the scene to end. Well, now what? This scene has been going on and on. She didn't say anything. She looked as if I'd scared her. Right then, what I should do was completely unclear. Our little cassette adventure was idiotic from the beginning, but now it was beyond my comprehension. I had no idea what the logic behind her action was the meaning and motivation was. However, despite all this, I could firmly say no. Something stopped me, maybe a sense of duty or pity or the patience which must be shown when communicating with children. Oh boy. Okay, what do you want from me? Go to sleep with me. Oh my goodness, that did not sound right. Sleep with me. Seems like I've seen it somewhere already. Lord. Well, let's assume. I turned off the light and nestled beside her. Oh my goodness. Good thing it was summertime. Otherwise, sleeping on the wooden floor would not be the best idea. Lord. The lack of a mattress is not even worth mentioning. Why did you agree so easily? I could hear resentment in her voice. I don't know, but that face right there would be me. If me in this situation. You asked, so I did. But I wouldn't put myself in that if I didn't really want to be cuddled up with this person. In fact, I was completely convinced that Ulyana, the first time she would say, like, come sleep with me. No, I'm good on that one. I'm good. Basically, it's a good plan despite the fact that I will, again, serve as a beast of burden. Hey, talk to me. Just sleep. You would only wanted to. Just talk. About what? This scene, man. It's just going forever. Tell me something interesting about yourself. Funny stories from your life. My life is not that action-packed. Nothing to recall at all. Even if I had something, telling her was not the best idea. Nothing at all. It can't be that bad. I turned to Ulyana. She was lying with her eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling. It can, trust me. But that's so boring. From time to time. She was silent for a while and then smiled and said, But here you had fun. Oh, that's true. I laughed. You remember this camp? First I need to get out of here. Of course I will. And the others? I will. And me? And you. I said it all with an absolutely even tone and, to be honest, without really thinking about the meaning of her questions. And I will, whispered Ulyana. Immediately I felt her head dropping on my chest and her hand wrapping around my neck. Comfortable? Yeah, she murmured. You haven't found a better place. She shook her head slightly. Well, let her lie like that. In the end, maybe she'll fall asleep faster. Probably no more than 5 minutes passed before I decided to check on her and lightly tug on her shoulder. Well, this scene seems to be going and dragging a little bit, but it looks like I might be getting towards the end, so maybe it's not that bad that I went over a little bit longer than I usually do, but if you managed to watch all this time, God bless you, but I did not expect to go this long with this part. Like, I technically should have cut it off after about the 40-minute part, because usually that's about the length that I usually go. Although, I can't really say that, because the first part that I did went about close to 50 minutes, so but I tried not to do that. But when you're first starting out something, you just never know where it's, how long you might be going for something, You're not paying attention to time. But either way, I'm going to call it a part here. So this is two parts now. But the positive is, like I said, it's coming to an end. And there's a bunch of random stuff happening now. It's definitely better than when the route started, but I agree with one sub that I have that it's still not really my favorite route either. But at least there's things that are going on in it, even if it's a little bit cringy at certain times. Uh, but other than that, that's pretty much all I have for this one.